What's going on, guys? Coach Stefan here. I got Joe Taylor with me. He's one of our active clients with Pursuit, working with Coach Mike. So I'm just gonna have him introduce himself. We just want to have honestly, this is a casual conversation, not scripted or anything. We're just really want to talk to our clients about what their experience is so far in Pursuit. So, Joe, do you mind introducing yourself?
Yeah, Joe Taylor. I live in Knoxville, Tennessee. I've been serving the military for 17 years, currently active with the Army National Guard as a recruiter. I'm recently married last year. I have two sons that live with me at home, and my hobbies are playing golf and listening to music.
It's awesome. My dad's a big golfer. Like every time I go back to Oregon with him, well, I'm a hacker. He's a golfer. It's not very good, but yeah, it's a ton of fun. And I mean, do you live close to a base?
I live close to an Air Force base, so I do have access there for the PX and all the gym and the goodies there. So
Do you go golfing on the base?
surprisingly, this is one of the few Air Force bases that doesn't have a golf course.
Ah,
So yeah,
bummer. Bummer. Maybe the next one you move close to.
yeah, hopefully.
Um, cool, man. So you've been in the military for 17 years. Is this your first experience working with a coach online?
Yes, this is my first time.
Okay. What drove you to go this route? I know a lot of I actually just talked to an active Marine that's part of our Brian, that's part of our group. It was first for him. I know a lot of the first responder everyday hero community, they probably are familiar with maybe some in-person training and what that looks like. What drove you to maybe even consider doing online?
Well, I think the proof's in the pudding. When I stumbled across, I think it was the Facebook page. I just kind of stumbled across one day and started scrolling, seeing testimonials, seeing just what you guys were all about. I think I put in an inquiry that I was interested, and the process was super easy and efficient to kind of come on board. But seeing real people, everyday people who have massive workloads and a lot of things going on in life, still able to get those results. I just kind of come to a point in my life. I'm turning 37 this year. I needed professional help, so to speak. Like I couldn't get over these humps on my own, and I knew it was
Mhm.
time to get a professional.
Yeah. So what, if you don't mind sharing, like what were some of those things, right? You're in the military, you're not brand new to fitness. A lot of people think, oh, an online coach, are working with a bunch of just totally green, never done fitness before. We do have those people in our program, but I mean, just the career field that we serve, cops, firefighters, military, it's not day one for you guys doing some type of physical fitness. So what were some of those things you felt like, man, I really need some expert guidance on these areas?
I think a lot of it was just knowledge based. So I come from the cloth of your traditional kind of bodybuilding, chest day, but arms day kind of thing. And as I've gotten older and goals that I have in my life, I needed more of a functional fitness kind of
Mm.
routine.
Yep.
I didn't know really where to turn. Of course, most of the guys in my friends group are active dudes that are constantly working out, but everybody has different goals.
Yep.
But just to be vulnerable, I attempted a Norwegian foot march last fall, and I performed very, very poorly. And I'm like, okay, there's something that I can't figure out to get over the hump to this next stage of fitness. And I really, honestly, just needed the accountability portion of it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I appreciate the vulnerability. And, I think like, and maybe this is just me, I've just heard it from other clients, like as men, we're like, I could do it. Like I
Yeah.
could do it. And it's the dog in us and the fight in us. And Mike, actually, I was like, hey, share with me some of Brian's wins. And he's like, he refound his inner dog, like that fight. And that's so cool to hear that. And maybe you could touch on that like that came about because sometimes when we sit there and we go, yeah, I need help. I mean, like I could use the accountability. Some people view it as a sign of weakness. I don't. I have accountability in every single area of my life. I have a business coach. I've had accountability in my relationships, in my fitness. I've had Coach Mike program me. So I have those things. How do you feel like the accountability has helped? Like what, did you go from like not very consistent to a lot more consistent or walk me through that?
Yeah. So I've always been really inconsistent. I will, 2, 3 months into a program, and then I kind of reach, I look good, I feel good, and then I dial it back, right? And I just that
Mhm.
ebb and flow, but also letting life get in the way.
Yeah.
Like there's days you don't want to go to the gym. There's days you don't want to count your
Yeah.
macros. There's days you just want to cheat. Knowing and maybe it's that military thing, that kind of chain of command. I kind of see Coach Mike as like my first line leader in the
Yeah.
military. It's like, man, if I don't put the work or the effort in, or if I cheat, man, he's working his ass off on his end to program specifically tailor made for me. I'm disrespecting him if I don't fulfill my end of the bargain. So having that kind of father figure, I guess, in my
Yeah.
fitness journey,
Yeah.
is what's really, I guess, awakened that dog in me. And it's like, man, you know, I don't feel it, but I'm going to do it because it's the right thing to do. And I know Coach Mike's depending on me, and I just want to be a good client of his.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. And, I could tell even by chatting with you now and from what Coach Mike said that, you do have that good character, which is important. And that's why you said, hey, the process was getting on board was easy. I don't know who's watching this, but we have calls, we have Zoom calls with all of our clients, just like with you, because we want to make sure that we're a good fit. And I'm sure that's why, part of the reason we want to welcome you in our program. But what you said too is really important, knowing that somebody's there and doing it. And like, if you're I feel like if you're a halfway decent person, there's a part of you, even if it's surface or whatever, that you like don't want to let that person down, right? You're like, hey, they're kind of depending on me. And yes, this is a program that you invested in, and this is Coach Mike's job. But I can tell you from somebody that has coaches that it's not just like, oh, I paid them. Like there's a emotional, right? Like, man, I know they're putting in their effort, and I think people are reciprocatory, right? They want to do the effort that's matched. So if your coach is putting in some time and care and communication with you, you don't want to let them down. And I've been doing this a long time. I'm like, yeah, good, good. That's the point. That's where the
Yeah.
accountability comes in. And like going when you don't want to, going when you're tired. And you mentioned this, it is specifically tailored to you. And the fact that the communication and accountability and stuff is there, I think plays into that. And that's the next portion I want to touch on. I think people, if they've never had an online coach, the common theme and that I hear is like, how are you going to help me online? Like, I think the world really shifted in 2020 with more of the online coaching becoming more of a thing. How's that experience been for you versus maybe what you thought it would be as far as the communication and customization and accountability?
Yeah, so I was a little hesitant at first, and there's a million different kind of
Oh
fitness
yeah.
things out there, and I'm like, but obviously being in the military and seeing the kind of your guys' target demographic were first responders, military veterans, that kind of community. That was a little bit of a safety net going in, knowing that we understand each other's lingo and kind of each other's drive
Mhm.
and constrictions. So I was a little hesitant at first, and then but I mean, right off the rip, like as soon as I got paired off with Coach Mike, like he took a break from his work. He was training somebody else and he took a 5 minute break just to shoot a quick video. Hey man, I'm gonna be talking to you soon. And he's just been there every step of the process, all along the way. Constant check-ins. I can reach out to him anytime. He always gets back to me in a timely manner. If and he's open to suggestions and change. Like if there's something I want more of, he will put it into the program. He makes awesome suggestions. He You said a second ago, like, yeah, we think, well, I'm paying you, so do your job. That's not how it is with Coach Mike. Like, I genuinely feels that that dude cares.
Yep.
Like, he reaches out consistently, and not just about like how's the workouts going. He's like, how's the family? How's life? How's the job? Is there anything coming up that I need to know about that could be a hindrance? So yeah, I have been pleasantly surprised. It's been more than I thought it would be.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. That makes my day. That makes me happy. And I mean, it's a testament to the coaches, right? Like one thing that's really important for me as the owner is I knew when I hired, Coach Mike and we all of our other coaches, but like I only wanted to hire coaches that were like actually cared about their clients and had
Right.
the skill. Coach Mike, genius dude, right? Like been coaching for 13 years, total badass. But like he also just has this side of him where, and I push that a lot. Hey guys, like these are people. They're not a number. These are people. I need you to make a connection with them because when you have that connection, you're like, man, this guy's kind of like my friend. It's just
Yeah.
a pleasant process. It's you're more likely to hold yourself accountable. We are more open to suggestions. And the way that I always explain it to new people is like it's a collaborative thing. Like it's push pull. Even with when I used to have one-on-one clients, I'm like, hey, is this good? If they say no, I'm like, okay, what's not good about it? Let's chat. Let's have the conversation. Let's come up with a solution. It's not, oh, do better, or this is only the
Right.
only way, right? Like, yes, we're the experts. We want to guide you and direct you. Um, so walk me through what you feel like your biggest, let's talk like maybe some metrics or what you feel like as far as physical, fat loss performance. What are some things that you've noticed since being in, and you've been in like, when did you join? How many months ago?
It started November 1st.
November. So it's been 3, 4 months. What have you
Right.
noticed in that time frame?
So first is just really physically, like my appearance. I've lost see, I was 247. I'm 6'1". I was 247 like on Halloween, like before we started. And I'm fluctuating now between 221 and 224, just kind of depending on the day. So loss of the weight, I can move better, but just really strength gains in the gym. Like
Yeah.
as far as the programming, like I'm moving weight that I've never moved before, and I'm not
Yeah.
doing your traditional like power lift or body lift style of workouts. Um, but then aside from that, just my mental like well being, like the diet he has going, it's got me thinking more clearly. I'm getting better sleep. I have a better attitude and better outlook on the day. I don't get stressed as easy as I used to,
Yeah.
and so it's really that mind and muscle connection would is what jumps out to me that has been the biggest change in these few months that I've been in the program.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I heard a lot of good stuff there, right? It wasn't just, yeah, I lost my gut. It was, I'm sleeping better. My mental like outlook is better. I'm stronger. And yeah, Coach Mike is good at programming and making people animals. He's and making people strong. So um yeah, I mean, like like you said, and it's a little bit different. It is more of that like functional style. I think for a lot of our, tactical performance, the military, the cops, the firefighters do a really good job. We do a really good job at programming them stuff that is going to have the performance, but you also look good. I mean, you lost over 20 pounds in 3, 4 months. You said you're sleeping better. I mean, like it sounds to me like most of your health habits are significantly improved in a short
Absolutely.
amount of time. That's awesome, dude. So what would you say your biggest takeaway is? I mean, I know we talked about a lot of wins and the communication and all that's super good. I guess this is a two-part question. What would you say your biggest takeaway is? And then if somebody was kind of on the fence, maybe where you were 3 or 4 months ago, like what would you say to that person?
Yeah. So my biggest takeaway is sometimes you need help, right? Like sometimes, like you said, especially A type dudes, like, well, we'll
Mhm.
figure it out, or I'm weak if I'm reaching out for help, right? So my biggest takeaway is if you'll just kind of humble yourself and be real, like take a real look in the mirror and be like, is this is the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over, expect a different result. So I needed help, and my takeaway is I reached out for help, and by God, it's worked. It's like
Yeah.
it's working. Um, if somebody's on the fence, I would say trust the data. Look at the results like that the clients of Pursuit have. Like I was a skeptic forever. I was like, I'm not doing these online things. I'm not doing a pill. I'm not doing a wrap. I'll figure it out. Like it's
Yeah.
just lift heavy, eat protein, you'll get there. Well, there might be some truth to that, but you still have to train properly. And so if you're on the fence, um, just trust the data. You guys are world class coaches with world class programming. I haven't seen one failure of all the chats that we're in and all the testimonials. Nobody come to this that I know of 3, 4 months later and like, yeah, I'm not losing weight, I'm not getting stronger, so it doesn't work. So I would just look at the data, trust the science, and let that speak for itself.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I mean, I'm biased, but I agree. I mean, that's, at the time of this, I think we have like 130 only 5-star reviews on Google. I might have a heart attack the day we have a 4-star, but the whole point is like, and you've seen in the chats, I'm like, hey, we'd love a review, give an honest feedback. I don't know what people are going to say, you know?
Right,
And it just is a testament to the coaches and the communication. And I really honed in on the process, of like, always checking in, right? Because it's not
right,
always going to be a perfect program. So having us being like, hey, Brian, are we good? We good? Do you like this? Are we good? Like it's hard to fail, right? It's hard to get to a spot where you're not making results or you stay at a plateau where it's really not working. As long as, the coach is reaching out and you're willing to want to do better, which all of our clients are, including yourself, we're there. We're there to make those adjustments and make those changes so you are happy, not only with the customer service, but like we know you're coming here for results, right? Is
Mhm.
best friends as you can get with your coach. If you're not making the physical progress, if you're not losing the weight or increasing your performance, then we're still missing the mark, right? But it sounds like you've kind of got both ends of the spectrum there, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Well, I appreciate you jumping on. This is awesome. Such good feedback. And I know that there's other people in the Everyday Hero community, maybe some military members that are like, hey, I need this. I need to reach out for help. And then, I'm super excited for you to continue. I know you're going to continue to make really, really good progress in this program. So I appreciate you jumping on, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I've enjoyed it.